Tim, I'd like to talk to you about this band that you played in with Pete Mendillo.
Yeah, Civil War.
And when we were doing his tribute, and if no one doesn't know, Pete Mendillo was just a legendary drummer in town, unfortunately passed a few months ago. So we were doing a little tribute for him. So I searched Facebook for all these different pictures. And I think it was Danny Day that sent me this picture with this old band. It was Civil War.
It was Civil War.
With you and Pete. And what year was that?
That was in 1994. Wow. And it was Pete, actually the bass player and the guitar player and myself we auditioned a bunch of drummers, and I guess the bass player wasn't really happy with, and so he told us about this guy that he knew in New York, and that he was going to try to get him to come down, and so I think Pete was probably going through some stuff back then, and he wasn't able to leave, and he wasn't really interested, and so I joined another band and played for about a year. And then all of a sudden one night I was playing with this band at Murphy's, and the bass player and guitar player came up there, and during the break they came up and they go, "Look, man, it's time for you to quit this band. Pete's coming down." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Excuse me?
I'm having fun with this band. And I said, "Okay, if I hear him and he's any good, and it looks like, I said, I'll quit the band." And
remember when he said he used to be a cocky asshole?
No, I didn't know, I didn't know. Yeah. So anyway, he ended up being pretty good. He was kind of good. So I quit the band I was in at the time, and we formed Civil War, and it was together for about a year and a half, I guess. We wrote a bunch of songs. Played a bunch of shows. We did 2 shows with Tora Tora. One of them was you guys' last show at 616. Yep. And but then we tried to shop around the originals and stuff, and that was during the grunge thing, and we were still writing bluesy rock, southern sounding rock, But we stayed great friends. We split up, and Pete ended up immediately started playing everywhere and just blew up. He did all kinds of stuff. But him and his wife, we introduced him to his wife too.
Okay, that's how they met.
Yeah, and because we had been friends with Carolyn for a long time, and actually Carolyn's first husband Mark was a drummer in my band Dots from a long time ago. Mm-hmm. So there was a connection there. Anyway, we introduced her to Pete, and they were inseparable from 3 weeks after they met. It was like it was on.
That's so cool.
And so anyway, it was cool, and we stayed friends. Their backyard backed up to my wife's parents, my in-laws' backyard, and so we'd be all out in the backyard over there and see Pete and Carolyn, and I'd walk over and talk to them, and we always hung out and would talk. And he'll be missed. He was a great player, and he was a great person. I think that's the thing about him that I'll miss the most, is just how he was as a person. He always thought about other people before himself.